Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages background, welcome to tonight's match. It is Overwatch, and I'm your host, Sami Naomi. We're going to be starting here for the third place match here, best of 5 series. It's going to be taking place here on Lijiang Tower. Now you're going to be seeing here, Stevenson's going to be Team Blue. Whoa! Eastern University is going to be Team Red. The Eagles versus the Mustangs once again. We saw them in the last match of the regular season. Here we are once more in the playoffs. We're fighting for third place and for the points needed to go to Nationals. So keep in mind here, this is a big night for both teams before they head to the break. Let's see how they do, shall we? Going to be starting it on off here. You are going to be seeing that Stevenson and the Eagles are going to be meeting pretty early on here. Going to be facing a lot of head-on action here with the stomps coming on out from either side. Now you're going to be seeing here, however, that Stevenson is not going to be the one to take points. Instead, they're going to be playing it back while the Eagles take the advantage here. And a big damage coming on out by RC to get Mr. Serious. This could be disastrous for the Mustangs here as they're down by 1 to start. RC is one not to take care for others. As you're going to be seeing Stevenson now forced back. The point goes over to Eastern. But with that much damage comes just as much pain. As you're going to be seeing Stevenson forced back into their spawn here. Right now, beautiful aggression coming on out here from the side of the Eagles. Really showing up how they're putting their pressure up against Stevenson. Coming in with the slam and copy, mind you. That copy is going to do serious damage. Front and center here. They can go easily in with the cage as needed. As they're just looking down to stop anybody from making their push. So that's going to give Stevenson the aggression to start up on this push, while Eastern's going to have to recuperate for their next assault. But Stevenson best be careful, because the Eagles are no one to be underestimated, especially when you got someone coming in with the cage. But it's going to be double caging it up. Trade out there from the Eagles. But it's going to be Stevenson that came out on top with their ults there in order to win this fight and hold the choke. I dare say that biggest thing that we're going to be seeing here probably is going to be a drier fight either from Eastern or a forced one. They have the ults to go in and they're going to be activating them here and now. Stevenson immediately retreating, as we'll probably see going in with the orbital from Melee. Mastermind side 40 is going to be the first to fall as the cannons trade one another's position here. But what's this? Quits is going to be in their backside and finding some big picking here. Looking to see if they can get the Reaper. It's getting a little bit dicey for them as they're giving way towards 49 to take back the point and the picks here. It's looking tremendously well. So now that they're going to be wrapping themselves up here once again at the choke, the question is here, how is the Eagles going to make their push in? They have Astral Band's Rally. The Rally will provide a great amount of armor, but what they really need is a shutdown. And I'm not sure they're going to find that opportunity, especially when Copy is ready and available with the push. Going in with the Malga on the double slam. Quits finds that first pick there, and they're going in heavily for some more. With the Rally on deck to send people off the map. The opposition has no chance. They're trying to see what they can do to stop a touch here. Malga makes it in time, as you're going to be seeing them just not live to tell the tale. And that's going to be it for round 1 here, going to Stevenson as we now head to round number 2. Something really to keep in mind of here is that these fights came down quite literally to the wire. I mean, main things that we were seeing is that either side was really playing it well off of either slams and playing up together. When you do that, that's how you're going to succeed here. Now you're going to be seeing that both sides here are going to be starting on the sim. However, the difference here is that Quits is the Reaper, while EURC is the Echo. Are they going to stick to it, or are they going to keep back? No! They actually swapped to a Sombra. Sombra's going to be an interesting trade up here. I mean, by all means, it's going to find some value, to say the least, as you're going to be looking in for these pushes here, trying to see if you can get some initial value on in. And that value is going to be found here by RC and Zopu, finding their pickoffs and going for some more. Coming in with the slam as well. They're trying to see if they can take down Mr. Sirius. Mr. Sirius will be living and telling the next tale of their lives. Right now, the Eagles have a huge advantage of capturing point first. So Stevenson, once again, on the back pedal, as we saw in the first. But the slam does a huge amount of damage here, as you are going to be seeing RC the first to fall. Going in once again for the slam is 49 before they overextend themselves, having some more damage. But both tanks being traded here could prove useful for Stevenson, but not enough, as you're going to be seeing you lose one there from Mr. Sirius. Going in with the Death Blossom, finds a pick, trying to get the break, does successfully do so, excuse me. Fat fingered the Budsons here. And now heading for more. You do have Summer back once again, trying to do the damage where possible, but things are getting a bit dicey on the point here, as you are seeing people fall one by one for the Eagles, and seems to now finally turn it over to their control. But after what amounts? See, you had stuff here that was not working well. So now you're going to be seeing that's... Oh no! Kind of Ivan just made a crucial charging mistake, aim boot to the side, and complaining about a well-designed game. That is truly unfortunate there. Seeing that happen in the finals is the worst thing ever, caught in 4K. Nonetheless, you are going to be seeing that they're going in for the re-engagement here. Double Cajun with EMP to ensure that fight is won. Yeah, not looking great for Stevenson. They're trying to see if they can get out alive. Brig just barely able to, but does get staggered in the end, unfortunately. So not great there for the Mustangs, having to play that back. They have to deal with it, but that's how things go. Brig's going to be late coming to the party. And biggest thing for the side of Eastern is to get this ult ready again for Sombra. Sombra's going to be huge about getting that up and running. Hack comes on out, and it's trying to do some damage, but definitely not doing enough here. 49 going in for slam after slam, as you will be seeing the Death Blossom work its magic there. But Sombra just able to get around the corner in time, but not before getting eliminated themselves. Team kill granted there, and right now the Eagles are trying to play for alt builds here. They're more than likely going to lose this fight, but they're looking for that last and final fight as long as this doesn't get dragged out. If it does, they're going to be in a very bad position here. So Stevenson could get really, really aggressive if they wanted to on the situation here. Oh, kind of Ivan almost does the exact same thing as last. Almost getting knocked off the map. Here comes with the ults in for final last point fight. And Mally also falls off the map there. I don't know what's going on, but mistakes are being made. Astral Band has fallen off the map. They are staggering themselves. This is disastrous right now. This is the last thing you expect to have happen in these kind of fights. Going in with the slam. 40's trying to stop him. He's keeping him at bay. The Sombra is down. They're staying alive, mind you. And 40 actually lives to tell the tale, too. This is ridiculous. Unheard of, even. as they're able to hold out the point, going for another slam and use the overhelp to get through. They shut down the Reaper ult despite losing their own. It does not matter. They did the damage needed, and they're looking for some more. Have to play it safe here with the healers, trying to keep him up. It's up to CJ to do just that. And they need as much as possible burned out of this Lucio. They finally get him. Reapers back, but not in time. Stevenson, a clean wipe as they take map number 1. My goodness gracious. I mean, we have seen quite a bit, but the Philosopher himself, 49, able to hold it on out to the very end, shutting down ults and taking names here. Big plays by them. We're going to be hitting a quick intermission, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back! Welcome on back! We're here on the second point. It's our revenge map time! The losers of the previous map have selected Escort. After having Gibraltar banned by Stevenson, we are back on circuit by choice of Eastern University. Now, you may be saying, Sami, what do you mean by revenge? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a revenge map pick because on this map alone, we went to overtime rounds for both Stevenson and Eastern. And Stevenson came out on top in the end, so Eastern has a bone to pick with them, and they want to win it back. So they're looking to make ends meet. So now we're going to have no Malga this time around, at least for the start. And we're going to be working with Sig Pokal. This is going to be a very interesting composition. I'm really looking forward to it because it's a change-up. Oh no! We have a betray of the comp! Of course, there was no handshake in the agreement, so either side can run whatever they want. But I bet you Stevenson was expecting there to be poke. So to see this here, truly disappointment. Quid's here now going to be on the receiving end of quite a bit of damage, just able to get out alive, surprisingly, as Malga overextends himself by quite a bit, getting taken down by SU Root Beer. That's going to be 2 down from the get-go. As you'll see, Quits is taking a real nice beating, but it's going to be RC and Zopu who have to make their swaps here immediately. They're going to see if they can try to match the Widowmaker. That is Mr. Serious here, trying to see if they can work that high ground pressure. And that's a bit tough here in these situations as it's really one hit or nothing goes, right? But coming in aggressively here is going to be Sombra from underneath. Gets that hacked out but misses the virus. The virus not working well into Stevenson's favor there. But you are seeing space being made here with the Malga. Goes in for a slam, but the slam does not go through. They decide against it. And right now, this is going to be Stevenson holding the corner while Eastern is trying to play it back. They spot RC here, and RC is not a great spot, but oh, what a pick by Zopu. Zopu here, able to find that first, looking for Legend, does a bit of damage and shuts it down. Just missing their shot. Mr. Serious has to be real careful unless they get taken down themselves, looking for the angle, but Mr. Serious has no time for it as the pressure is on here. There'll be a regroup to point as Stevenson may have to match the lineup. This could be a pick here. Going in for a shot. Will they find it? Just barely missing from each other. Right now, either side is looking for a real big opening from the other in order to get a pick, while the rest of the team sits back to play it safe. They're trying to see if they can counter for these hacks and antis, but the sights have been set, and they're looking to see who they can find here. Just missing the shot. Here comes the EMP. It's finding its damage, but the damage is too great. Stevenson cannot live through it and gets taken on out. A complete team kill awarded to Eastern University. So now the Eagles are going to slowly make their way up as Stevenson is now swapping their comp over to the Malga. It's going to be a rough one for Stevenson here at the start as they don't have enough burst damage in from the get-go. And they're working with a big play on the anti and Transcendence. Quits is going to be the first to fall there as either side is getting cleaned on up. Root Beer finds that first pick there, but Stevenson still struggling to stay alive. As now you're going to be seeing the Russian kind of vibing has been working really hard on trying to adjust to this push here. And it's really shown. I mean, credit where credit is due. They have been on their game here. So we're going to have to see how they deal with Stevenson's swap up against this situation here. With sights in hand for RC and for Zopu. They're looking for picks here. They just don't have the initial opportunity. Oh, that's gonna get you killed, Legend. Legend staying a little too out in the open, getting themselves hurt. But here comes the EMP with the cage, as Stevenson's trying their best to hold out, but it's not working well. You're going to be seeing some swaps coming out here for sure. It's all coming down to this. Quits has gone over to the new, and you got to stay alive here. They get EMP before they can get this out. A lot of damage coming on through. Cannot get the pick quite yet. However, kind of vibing does fall immediately. And you also lose the Juno. This is a huge turn back for Stevenson's favor. But don't forget that URC here is looking for potential back cap. So they have no chance for leaving the point here. So between the Eagles and the Mustangs here, it's really going to come down to this next ult usage here. Astral Band has a great setup here potentially for the Kitsune Rush to be able to provide haste and faster ability usage. But it's going to have to be a little more than that, mind you, going into this fight. Nano could be a huge factor as well as Pulse. There goes your first. Here comes the Orbital. Pulse goes in as well. Misses. But they do get the kill there in the end. Astral Band cannot stay alive for it as the team resets once more. Right now, Stevenson has a hold on their ults, and they're actually making swaps as needed, as you're going to see over to the Cassidy here as well. As for the Eagles here, all they have to work with at the moment is the Kitsune Rush. Will they use it going into this fight is the question. 2 minutes remaining. They could force the dry fight. Same for Stevenson. Stevenson has no need to really force anything too heavy right now. But they choose to anyway. They got their picks here, and they're not going to be using anything else. As you're going to be seeing now, Eagles are going to have to regroup themselves. Kind of Vibin is looking to get out alive. Kind of Vibin's in a world of trouble, and Kind of Vibin's now dead. Vibin no more. Ever hear of just a chill guy? Well, this guy isn't too chill here, as he's going to be burning on up in the atmosphere. So we're going to be looking at 2 ults here ready for Stevenson. The cage with Nano. And as for the side of Eagles, you got Death Blossom, Kitsune Rush, Orbital, and more coming on out. I mean, this is going to be really big here for them on either side. Looking for that hack there to start. You go for an early cage if they need to, but they're trying to buy as much time as possible. What's this, however? Going around on the side. Has to roll back into the cage for safety here. Nano is out. And is it hitting anything? No! It hits onto SU Root Beer there. That is not the ideal target for a Nano. Not a great situation here, as there's just mere 30 seconds remaining. And with that, round 1 is completed with the Eagles having completed the map. Now Stevenson has the challenge at hand to do just the same. Can they do it, or will they be held back is the question. Let's find out, as we're going to be having the side swap here and looking for some offensive pushes. Now, the nice thing about this map is how often you get to see the raceway in use at night. During the day, I believe the raceway actually doesn't get utilized. And what's real interesting is that, believe it or not, it goes all along the coast here. As the cars reach their way around the sides there, they're actually going to be making it along the coast towards the tower and beyond. And if you listen carefully, you can hear the cars racing in the distance. And all the red lights in the beyond is just a simple highway. But without further ado here, we are going to be going for these next setups here. Now let's take a look from Zopu's perspective, as they're going to be going for a very, very cheeky snipe here. Up, up, and away. Misses completely. As they're looking for a push here. As for Stevenson, they're going to try to return the favor here with their own Widowmaker. Looking for a pickoff here. They see it's behind a shield, and they can't really react to it right now. Jasir is taking a world of damage as they lose the Legend and quits from the get-go there. Even Mr. Serious Zopu is just on a roll. However, through their hubris, they lose one. RC has fallen, and what else comes with it? The Widow, of course! Having been pushed down upon, Widow going to have to run for their lives. And you're going to see that aggression coming in further and further. Stevenson has made much more space in a shorter amount of time compared to the Eagles now for the first point. Zopu, however, still looking for their shots here if they can find it. They just need an angle, and it's not looking fun, especially when you have Mr. Serious to fight against. No, sorry. And coming in aggressively, 49 with quits here to try to get that additional damage. Kind of vibing just a world of hurt. And right now, I dare say that Stevenson will outmatch them in the time bank category. They're going to have to see if they can stop this push here. Goes in with the cage as they return the favor. However, is it going to prove useful here? They have the orbital cannon in to commit to it as well. And they stop Stevenson's push just in time. Just about a meter and a third left. They'll even get a stagger pick there to start. So now you're going to be seeing a regroup coming on out here from the side of the Eagles. They want to try to back it on up. They have no reason to hold up forward. Although, by all means, they can choose to hold up more aggressive as they have not yet lost the first point. Sides have been activated for both sides here as they're going to be looking to possibly engage with ults. But keep in mind here, EMP is still available and now is a perfect opportunity to utilize. However, the decision has been made not to, as they have no reason to overcommit ults into a lost fight. So now you're left with just two stragglers here from the side as Stevenson begins their push on point. By all means, this push is going to have to give everything they got because Stevenson will need probably this immediate takeover in order to win it all. Right now, Astroband is having a hard time surviving such a situation here. Against such aggression, I mean, what do you do in this situation, right? You gotta be careful because Zopu has the aim. However, over-aggression will get you killed here. As you're seeing them, you have Zopu pushing up with RC, but it's not enough at the moment. I mean, you're really having some aggression coming on out from either side. RC gets Mr. Serious there to start, and they still have actually every ult in the bank to utilize. So we better see some ults coming on out here from the Eagles. Otherwise, there might be some danger coming through. Cage comes through right now as they're holding everything else off. It's going to stagger Stevenson off as Stevenson tries to die early to regroup. Mysterious is not going to catch the respawn wave, but it matters not as you're going to be seeing big ults coming on out. Yeah, at this time, this was a very different meta when they played against each other. So to see this now really is a standout between the two. Widow not able to find their shots, and really just a poke coming around from either side here. You're going to see that Mr. Serious here getting taken out by RC immediately, causing some trouble for the team. Orbital Strike in comes as they're going to try to push in with damage, but they're just taking their time, one ult at a time, mind you. And they're probably going to be having Cage working up yet again, as there is going to be... Oh no, are they going to get taken on out immediately? There's a chance. However, RC gets taken out instead with Cage. It was a Uno Reverso, as you're going to be seeing everyone else from the Eagles get quickly challenged. What should have been an easy takedown actually resulted in a lost fight and lost ground now for the Eagles. This is a horrible situation they now face, trying to keep as many people on as possible. There will be a cage fight ready to go in here. However, it's going to really come down to how they utilize this nade here with the nano into the quits. They could really work with something magical here. That break, not long for this word. That's both supports down, immediately finding their picks and trying to get some more, but struggling to do so. But what's this? Reaper actually gets it done with Mr. Serious to clean up the point. Really came down to that nano there. A beautiful execution and play by Quits there. And Legend now with Mr. Serious off the high ground here. This pulse bomb is going to be everything. They got to hit the stick here on the slam. It's going to be very important once they go in. Just taking their time right now, trying to see who they can find. Here we go! It gets one! It gets one, and one is all they needed! One is going to be one they push in with. However, despite a great pickup here, no one is moving the card for Stevenson. They have all the space, yet no progress on that card from the space made. Not a great situation. However, going in against the Brigitte there. They try to get the slam, but it's not going to be able to find anything. Instead, the Eagles are going to actually push out against them. And wait, what's this here? Going in for the pick? Yes, sirree! A beautiful double! Gets the job done. Cleaning it up. There's a lot of damage coming in here. Mr. Serious able to just break people's ankles for these push-ins, while cage fight is going to be ready for both sides. It's really going to come down to this EMP. EMP going to be ready here, kind of vibing in a world of hurt. They could EMP this right here and now. Cage fight gets nullified as Rally goes in. Stevenson trying desperately to get these picks, but picks are not to be found. Biggest issue that they keep facing is this Sombra. Sombra is doing a world of hurt against the Mustangs here, with Reaper going down the start. Reaper's going to be on here with the Death Blossom, finds a pick, but that's about it. Pulse goes out, hits none, as they're going in heavy for some kills. Now he's going to be the first to fall, as they're looking for some more kind of vibe and not going to be able to live it, as Rowley was invested early and unnecessarily so. This is not a good situation here, as there's going to be no rally for this final fight. Stevenson must cap here if they're going to win it. Or at least not win it, but stay alive. As if they do not win this last point, they will not win the map in general. It's going to be going over to the Eagles from the looks. Slam comes on out, misses from kind of vibing, as it's not going to find a value there. You do find two. Both supports are down. Eastern is falling apart from the back line. It's going to come down to Zopu here, or RC. RC goes in, but really not much for anything else, as Stevenson was able to complete round 2, granting them a minute for both sides.
3-3.
A great situation. We're going to be having a pause here called, and pause coming out from the Eagles here. First time that there was actual a pause utilized. as we're going to be looking into this here. It's real interesting to see. See, pauses like this are allowed in between during the maps or in between them as well. So you have up to 5 minutes per map for a pause, technically. Keeping track of these can still be difficult though. And it's quite late at night, so players are definitely in it. So while we're in between, we're going to be hitting a quick break here, and we'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it. It's really coming up to this here, as this is actually the exact same situation we have faced prior. So we're going to have to see how both sides are going to be reacting to one another, as Stevenson was down in the fight prior in their previous matchup, and here they are yet again. Will they be able to come out on top, or will they fall victim to their own devices? Find out here in this overtime push-up. We're going to be seeing a nice sneaky push. So really anticipating how either side is going to be really pushing against one another. I dare say that it's going to be the Eagles here looking for an early pick on this corner from kind of Ivan and RC. Stevenson, they have to either react from a long range or rushing on through. What will they do? Let's find out here, shall we? Here we go. Got you all worked up there, and just to have the music cut, I know, it's the worst, but it's what we work in production with. Now we're going to be seeing on the rotation here, utilizing Root Beer. Root Beer is going to be the real clutch of this engagement. There's the ring, and here they go. They're going to be going in with the bait there. And now it's going to be kind of Ivan, who actually is in a very, very bad position. Having taken as much damage as they did, they're going to be rushed upon by 49, who has all the damage in the world with the speed. Quit's trying to engage on that damage there. They're not going to be able to find much space. However, kind of Ivan is getting pushed back here. What about Zopu? Can Zopu find this headshot? No, just a hair of a miss. Not looking good here, as Stevenson is taking so much space, getting so much ult charge into these fights. It is truly, truly imperative how they play this. Gonna be looking for some pickoffs here. Do they find them? Instead, they're actually being forced back Quits gets taken down first, but so does RC. And they're trying to fight this out on point now as they're looking for some jump picks. Not finding anything quite yet. Here comes the orbital cannon to start from the side of the Eagles, as well as the cage. They can't keep them up for long, and the pressure is on. Mr. C is trying desperately to see if they can get their picks, but that's going to be about it there as round 3 completes and the sides swap once more.
Score 3-3. Switching sides.
Well, that's going to show the cart has only made it so far. If for the side of the Eagles, if they get just a 0.01 meters more, they will win the Circuit Royale. And that is what they're trying to do here, because they lost this one the last time in the regular season. They really want to show what they've been working on, and they're confident in it. So I dare say that we're going to be seeing a very interesting push here. You see the swap over to the Winston, but it's more than likely not a permanent, as we're seeing now Pinecone. Spectate red only. Not sure who Pinecone is, but I'm assuming it is someone from the side of the Eagles here. So gonna make sure they get onto their side, of course. Stevenson not giving away what they are quite yet here, but they are looking for a pick.
2, 1. Attackers incoming. You can stop the pain.
Here comes the engagement. Coming out early here is RC with their damage, and they're trying to utilize stuff too. Looking for some initial damage here. They're coming to wrap around. I'll have to explain the Pinecone later. Seeing a lot of damage coming up from Quits here. Quits has to be very, very careful of their position. So we're looking to see how they make their engagement right now. Slowly making the push here. The Eagles have a lot to work with, and they're trying to see if they can find an off angle as well. Not going to be finding that Widow, though. Widow is all the way back. They don't complete the hack either. So right now, Quits is actually doing quite alright, all things considered. However, is it alright enough? I'm not too sure. We're going to have to see some picks coming on out here. Widow's trying to get some hiccups here, but it's getting a bit difficult right now. They're trying to play out towards the rear, and that could prove disastrous. But here it comes. This could be the reversal right now, as you're going to be seeing the orbital cannon in with the slam. Rallies on one another. It's going to find the Brigida first, more than likely. With that all coming out from Reaper, it does find another follow-up here. They cannot get the orbital cannon user yet. Juno's still alive. They need to have the help from the Tracer here. Tracer needs to live this out. Do they get this pick here? It's coming down to this. Wait, there's the trade. Tracer trying desperately to stay alive here. Needs to get the Malga. Malga must fall. Malga is looking low. And things are going to get a little dicey here. But wait a minute. There is some hope. There is an opportunity here to be had. That's going to be another one falling. Quits is on the point now. Quits trying to stay alive. Not a whole lot to work with, but here comes the Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball is on back. If Wrecking Ball does not get a pick here, and now this is not going to prove any use to anyone. Both sides are now going to be utilizing the Wrecking Ball here. Needs some extra health. Health is not looking too grand as they're looking low. This isn't great. Wait a minute, the pulse does not make its way on through. Instead, it's going to fall short. With so much going on, Eastern lives it out and gets the map there. And play of the game coming out from the Kaiju Zopu. I mean, there wasn't really a doubt after you saw consecutive hits on the mark each time. Truly spectacular. We're going to hit a quick break, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Oh, what's this? If you want to provide your feedback, here's the QR code now. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. So we're going to be going right on into it. Welcome to Esperanza. Say hello, Matt. He's a strong silent type. Anyway, now that the series is currently 1-1 here, Eagles have made up for what they lost during the regular season. Now they're looking to see if they can continue that momentum and beat Stevenson in the series. Will it happen? Hard to say. Let us find out today. As we're going to be seeing the picks made by both sides, there's going to be no changes from the side of the Eagles other than Zopu on the Reaper, while Stevenson's going to match him with the alternation being Mr. Sirius. So without further ado, we're going to go right on into it now with Escort. It's going to be very imperative here that both sides really position themselves onto these fights. So we're going to take it from the eyes over here of the Eagles as they're going to push in aggressively to start. However, Stevenson is going to see this aggression and actually look for an opening. Hack will come on out, but once it's done, here they come. Coming in with lots of damage there. 40 cannot survive it, but there is the trades. Wits has to regroup here for now, as they're seeing such amount of damage come through. They cannot get away in time. So right now, it's really coming out that the Eagles have the advantage to start, and Stevenson needs to find their positioning here at the moment. Going to be looking to see how they make their aggression. With these Malgacomps, it's really all poke, poke, poke for days. Looking for an opening of any kind. The High Noon is ready and available. Here it comes. But not able to find anything, unfortunately. That's going to be a trade-off from them there as the cage comes out from the get-go. It's a surprise use by the Eagles, I dare say. Was not expecting this usage here with the orbital cannon involved from Stevenson as well. Altar being forced. That much is true. As you're going to be seeing RC here trying to play it to live. Some high damage coming in, taking out Root Beer. So now the point has turned over in control of Stevenson here, but not for long. The push is in a very bad position for Stevenson here as they are getting taken down quickly. They're trying to back out best they can, and they will be able to get back in time, possibly looking for an early cage as well. As Quates is taking some extra damage, cage goes on out with the EMP and all going through with it. Stevenson not able to really hold on out. So it's not looking too good here as you're going to be seeing the Eagles making their push. It's great if you're an Eagles fan. If you're a Mustang fan, could be better. To each their own at this point. I mean, dare say, Stevenson really is just not finding their footing at the moment. Fast ults coming in, 2 down from the start, and the point keeps a pushing. They're going to make their way on over here right now, as you're going to be seeing that Stevenson continues their aggression. They're hungry for some picks. They want some more, but they cannot make the space to do it, as close spawns have been granted to Eastern, and everyone's able to make the regroup here. What's really imperative is going to be this High Noon coming on out here. They need to actually hit their marks. Could see it right here and now. High Noon comes on out, and it finds the first pick with a follow-up there. Cage catches at most 2. Damage already dealt, but it's really coming up here. Quits could make the comeback needed for the team here. However, they get themselves taken on out, and they don't have the heals to stay alive through it. This is bad for the Mustangs. The Eagles could not be any happier to get this point as far as possible. They're looking to regroup on this here and make their push up, as they're going to be granted close spawn once more. We're looking at a complete opposite effect from what Stevenson did during the regular season. And dare I say, I believe it's all thanks to RC here. This EMP is just so useful that no one else can really stop it. So going to be coming in with some heavy damage here. They're just trying to build for ults against the Mustangs here. Same can be said for the Mustangs. Stevenson having to play it real safe. And now coming in. It's all or nothing here at this point. Rally's going to actually be lost at this point. Not going to be finding much use other than having stopped Stevenson for a schmidget. Stevenson's going to be able to get out easily here as RC is playing it safe underneath. This push here is going to be what makes or break Stevenson right now. They have to prepare for this EMP, and it's coming in fast and aggressive here. Can they live till the tail? They go in with the ult. Quince gets one, but that's it. Nothing else. It's not looking good here, as you're going to be seeing that Stevenson cannot take the space they need. They keep losing more and more ground every fight. Their backs are against the wall, and it's not feeling good. So they really have to work on their setups here, as another cage fight is in effect. Quits goes down, as you will see. 49 gets their way on through the cage, surprisingly. So it's all coming down to this here. We could be looking at a last fight territory where Stevenson cannot take space anymore. Potentially. Really matters on how they make their engagement for this push. There's the slam and the ease, but not for what they're looking for. High Noon comes on out, and they do a significant amount of damage for that fight there. They're trying to hold out best they can, but they can only hold for so long. Between the Sombra and the Juno, it's just all too much. Right now, Stevenson really having to put everything against the Eagles right now. It's a very hard push up here. And they do not have the angles to fight it. They finally do swap over to the Sombra, so there is that to be said. But for Stevenson here, they're playing backs to corners and very difficult positioning. Mysterious not able to go in initially. Gets the stun out with the rally there. Axe not coming on out the way they needed to, but they do get the trade on Zopud. Someone needs to take this spot and run with it at this point. That's all that's left. And going in against the Brigitte as well, trying to get those stagger picks are going to be imperative, but she catches the respawn wave. That respawn wave is crucial towards getting this next fight close. So because they earn it, they're actually going to move in with quick haste here. And that haste is going to prove difficult for the Mustangs into this fight. However, Stevenson does have cage fight to work with Orbital. It's really going to come down to how they deal with the Death Blossom. Death Blossom is going to be the biggest issue they face. Going on in, that's going to be the two of them. And actually, Stevenson chooses to hold their ults this time around. A great use, as cage fight usually only gets wasted against the Sombra ult. So with close spawn awarded once more, Stevenson needs to actually fight this potentially dry. If they're able to take a fight early here against the Eagles, they could really take it back. But that's a little hard press. Oh, that does wonders for the side of the Mustangs here. Being able to push in as they are. That's going to be two down immediately. An easier dry fight coming in where there's no ults needed in order to make the push.
60 seconds.
A lot of time burnt. 60 seconds remaining here. So not a whole lot to work with. Going to be coming out to be real difficult here as the orbital cannon is in. Here comes the EMP just to shut him down once again. And that's going to be a clean wipe there against the Mustangs as Stevenson no closer spawn compared to the Eagles, who are now going to reclaim that close spawn again. With 30 seconds remaining, this is a very, very bad situation. So it's going to really all come down to this. EMP goes in. They find their first pick on the kind of vibing, and everyone else go through. So it's coming down to this here. It's overtime. Stevenson cannot afford to lose a single fight anymore. And that proves difficult, especially when you're going up against the Eagles here. Eagles just need a cage fight, as Stevenson's trying to just spam for ult charge here.
Did I scare you?
Fight taking place on point. You're going to be seeing Zopu getting that Death Blossom available. Here we go. It's going to get aggressive. That's going to be immediate takedown there against Zopu, which is great for the Mustangs, but they still have yet to get the checkpoint. Without that checkpoint there at the start, they are actually sitting on using one ult at a time per team fight, if at best. And it's a bit of playing scared here, because if you take a look, they have to reach it as far as up here in order to win, and that's a hard push. It's easy by no imagination of the mind. That's going to be a cage down from the get-go there. A huge upside for the side of the Mustangs here to counteract this engagement. Now looking for the Reaper. Reaper is going to be hacked here, but coming in with their own ult. Has to shut him down, but cannot in time. Cage goes into effect with the EMP. EMP to clear everyone out with the orbital cannon in effect. Using the cage in order to provide cover. This is big. Both sides have over-invested their ults. Quits trying to work up to the Death Blossom while EMP is still ready and available. But EMP is very situational, as you could try to cancel ults at best. Stevenson needs to play to live right now and hit as many shots as possible while staying alive. They cannot afford to fall here. EMP has now gone out. As we've seen the damage go in, that's going to be 2 down with not much time left here. That's going to be a clean wipe as Stevenson loses it to the Eagles. Eagles is up in the series 2-1. And here we go with play of the game from none other than, once again, 49. Yeah, this initial cage, really good work here for them going into this. So we're going to hit a quick break, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back into it. We are in match point territory in favor of Eastern University. The series is currently 2-1 in favor of Eastern, as Stevenson is trying to fight to stay alive here. As you're going to be seeing on the clock, there's 5 hours 35. It's actually 5:36 in the afternoon, I believe, or in the morning in Australia right now. I don't know if this is reflecting the real time. If it is, that is impressive, as you don't typically get to see that in games reflecting real world time like this. But without further ado, we're going to be going right on into it. Teams will start themselves up here with some early teleports as it comes out from either side. Gonna be seeing initial damage coming on up from the tanks once again, but really gonna have to keep an eye on RC. RC here has been doing wonders for the side of Eastern. Coming in with that slam there is big, but what's this? They're actually getting the picks done. Wait a minute, Stevenson is doing something they were struggling to do before, which is staying alive per fight. This might just be what they needed here going into this. Some ability to really push back. So this is looking stupendous. So we're going to be looking to see here. Sorry, I'm even getting quiet myself because I'm just so immersed and looking at how they make this fight here. I mean, they're constantly pushing their way on in, using their own body as a shield, mind you, to go in for these fights. And right now, Eastern is feeling the hurt of it all the way through. They just cannot keep this pressure on as needed. They actually hold them off and keep them from escaping. This is a huge setup here right now for them, as they're taking Eastern piece by piece out of this fight. And right now, RC here playing just their back against the wall right now, living to tell the tale through it all. So it's a bit of a surprise that they're able to do just that. But right now, this is it. Do the Eagles make a touch here, or will they give this point? I dare say they're not going to make this push. There is no time to do so. They must fight for the next one, the Junkyard.
Next flashpoint, Junkyard.
So as they make their way on over to the point here, the start, Stevenson's going to be on the rotation, looking for some early initiation here. As soon as they spot him, they will make that call out, looking for RC. RC has to play it safe here as they're getting pushed upon quite early. But not a whole lot of damage coming out against them. Instead, Stevenson's going to be playing it back. They're not able to find an angle right now against the Eagles, and the Eagles are going to take full advantage of that. But kind of vibing is going in with the ults, with EMP and everything. Holy moly! Despite the EMP from RC, it's a complete team wipe. I don't know what just happened. I dare say, thanks to Root Beer's orbital strike, they won that through. So now they are set up for success here after actually forcing out the cage from the side of Stevenson here. Actually, no, not Stevenson, from Eagles here. They're pushing in aggressively forward. And right now, you're seeing RC is on a complete manhunt. Going in with the cannon, however, is going to be the Eagles. The Eagles trying to push their way on in with the Brigida. They find Root Beer to start, and they're looking for any more. Quits finds their first pick here. What's this? 40 going in aggressively, gets themselves taken on down, but coming in to receive it all is going to be Quits. Quits trying to stall the point for as long as possible here, building up their ult, and gets it to 75. That's going to be a great setup there. There's guns and bodies scattered all across the battlefield. So now Stevenson's going to have to regroup here for this next push. We're trying to get some extra damage in for RC. RC, once again, just really the crutch of this entire fight. instant impact as Cage comes out. They're going to be looking to melt, kind of vibing where possible. There goes vibing with the Cage canceled, along with the rally just made useless outright. It's amazing. Can anyone make the touch here from the side of the Eagles? I dare say they're choosing not to. While RC could arguably make this touch, they're not going to. Unless they're going. Nope! Too late! Instead, they took too long of the decision making and fighting a fight that is unnecessary. With EMP involved? Are you kidding me? What are we witnessing right now? This fight was already lost. It's already gone. Stevenson is the one that's taking the L's here right now, but Stevenson's up 2-0 currently, and they're not going to get punished for it either.
Unlocks in 10 seconds.
So now, after not only getting out EMP, but now having the point not unlocked yet, this could be a really great situation for Stevenson to utilize into this fight. As you're going to be seeing RC taking a lot of damage, not having a lot of assistance, however, but they will find their picks here with the Reapers canceling each other out. That was a tremendous fight there. Being able to take out that Death Blossom from either side, really imperative. As both sides are trying to work up towards EMP, it's Stevenson that has a huge advantage here. So they're going to be coming in fast and aggressive right now. They're looking to try to build up this EMP. If they cannot get the EMP in time, it just took too long to do it. Stevenson too grouped up for the fight. And this one turns it over to Eastern there. So now Stevenson has to try to regroup for this next fight here. They only have the EMP and the Cage to work with. It's not a whole lot, but it's something. And they could make a great use out of something here. Really comes down to damage and initiation. The hack goes through as they make their push on in. And they're looking for the Sombra right now as the Cage goes through. Cage, I don't believe is going to catch anybody. However, they do take out the tank to start and start to find picks. No EMP needed, just Cage. This is a beautiful fight for Stevenson to work with here. They're looking to just turn the tide right now. It's really going to come down to this potential last fight. Stevenson and the Eagles know that whatever happens here is going to be the determining factor on whether or not this fight plays on or not. So going in aggressively, there's the EMP, and it's going in big! It finds 2 confirmed kills with the Eagles nowhere around to stay alive. Ladies and gentlemen, I dare say Stevenson makes a complete wipe of the point and wins them back a chance at match point territory. Oh, I'll be darned. Stevenson lives to tell the tale, and we actually go on to a final 5th map. Big credit coming in through here. Being able to find these picks, shutting down the Reaper ults, and just taking advantage of everything in sight. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. Alright, people, are you a believer? Because I certainly am. Welcome to the last and final match of the night, Blizzard World. Map picked here by none other than Eastern University, as we were forced to go for the first time ever to a 5th map. This has never happened before, mind you, simply because no team has ever gone past the Flashpoint Clash selection. So seeing that we're now on a hybrid here to finish it all truly does show what we're going to be facing. Now I know these are all World of Warcraft players that we should know, but I certainly don't know a single one of them. I have no idea who these guys are. All I know are the Overwatch characters. Maybe that means I should play some more World of Warcraft, huh? A little bit nerd stuff there. But we're going to be looking at this. This is an exact mirror comp once again, as we've seen for the past 3 maps now. That's coming out from either side. And I believe both teams know it's going to come down to this engagement here. We're going to look at RC once again, because RC is going to have the biggest reach compared to everyone else. But the engagement comes in fast and furious here. RC going to be wrapping around the side here, but best watch out. Here comes Mr. Serious. They're looking for any and every hack possible at the moment. Just any amount of damage, because the sooner you can build your ult, the better here. And same can be said for the healers. Going in with the speed, coming in aggressively there. You will be seeing a trade for both Sombras. As they're coming in fast, Astral Band does get quit, so that's going to be huge damage down for the side of Stevenson here to be able to just knock him away. SU Roop here trying desperately to stay alive, but cannot against the pressure that's on against them. Even 49, who's usually a cool, calm, collected mind, cannot stand the trials of fate. Do they get a chance for a touch? No, sirree. Unfortunately, they do not. They get forced back aggressively so, and cannot get another touch. So now the Eagles have a 5-minute time bank to work with here, as you're seeing them go on in without any issue. They're taking as much space as possible, but I will say Conda Vibing is taking more damage than they expected. So you are seeing that from the side of the Mustangs. It's more than they bargained for, to say the least. And they're losing a lot of people as well. The cage went out with the EMP to cancel it. Completely made useless, with 49 in team pushing up aggressively and getting a staggering pick out against them. However, I dare say they catch the respawn wave just in time for the side of the Eagles. So good for Astral Band there. Those change the respawns are really important. Slam comes on out, and you're not going to be seeing much of anything else, as damage just keeps going in aggressively. So 49 just can't get away from the torpedoes in time. Working hard to stay alive here. The Mustangs must stay back. But here we go with an orbital cannon. Oh no, the biggest fat finger in spawn. They're looking to hit tab there, I bet you, and it just went terribly, terribly wrong. But as things go bad, there's an upside too. The Eagles lose 1 from the get-go here, which causes a staggering effect against this push-up here. As Astral Band's going to be the first to fall there, you could be seeing a potential plus for the side of the Mustangs here. The Eagles are going to try to play for this high ground here now, as they're looking for an opportunity to push back against Stevenson. And they're going to see that opportunity just here and now on the push. It's going to be Conda Vibing, who's taking more damage they can handle as the cage fight is activated here. Not even enough time to just get away to live. Going to be immediate for the push in there. Even RC trying best to kind of poke. Remember, it was actually the Eagles that were granted 5 minutes, but they've already lost half their entire time bank here due to these fights. And the point is only now around the first corner once again. So Stevenson here could get aggressive in their engagements right here and now if they choose to. They're pushing on the Brigitte, and Brigitte's not looking too healthy about it. And they have a lot of discipline here, using no ults right now to push in as they are. That was a complete dry fight, but a dry fight from both sides. Neither one utilizing an ult. No, RC utilizing the EMP there was very imperative for Stevenson. So Stevenson forced out that EMP, making them not play it as they needed it for a cage fight. This is not a good situation, as you're going to be seeing cage fight get utilized here in this fight by kind of vibing, looking for any sort of opportunity. There's the cage fight with the EMP and quits on the ult there. It's just a complete ult fest. I dare say that maybe not even the Death Blossom was required. That was truly amazing. So now a minute 30 remaining here. You're going to have the rally. You're going to have the Death Blossom. And coming up on that orbital cannon. But the fight is not taking high ground anymore. They said we can't take high ground now. We just got to play for low into the point. And here comes the orbital cannon. Going to find that first with the rally push on in there by Poppy May. Gets that initial pick with the follow-up there, keeping the team alive with that rally inspiration, doing tremendous work. And that wins them the fight here with a shutdown in the end. The supports are going to be able to stay alive here once more, but the picks have been made. And looking at this, RC is actually playing this very safely. Uh-oh! RC is now in a bit of trouble. Has to run all the way towards third spawn in order to stay alive. They're dealing some extraordinary damage. Extraordinary, if you will. And it's very on top of it all. They're losing them one by one. The supports are down again. RC is going to have to try to make some sort of play here. It's going to have to come down to something here as they're coming out with this rally. They're pushing it with the damage. They're trying to make sure no one can make the touch. Here it comes. The touch. And the cage fight holds them on Alf. They go with the rally, and that EMP is just going to seal their fate, not allowing anybody to pass further through. And ladies and gentlemen, that will now mark the end of round one with 97 meters granted. Stevenson has a win condition now. If you take a look here, the farthest that the cart reached was roughly here. And whoever was last here was hitting the trash can. Ooh, spooky ghost. It's a trash ghost. Moving on from the joke. So now this is going to come down to this next matchup here. I believe we're not going to be seeing any changes coming on out unless the Eagles feel a bit flighty. No changes to be made from either side. They are sticking to their guns and looking good doing it. I mean, being able to adapt quickly to these fights. See, Stevenson had a set strategy going into this, and then that strategy was blown out the window almost entirely because of how RC came onto the field with the Sombra. That Sombra, truly a devastating character. But after seeing how they played it and being on the receiving end so many times and trying to force and mirror it, Stevenson has quickly adjusted to these play styles and understood, hey, let's try this, guys. Let's do what they're doing, but better, and target them a little differently. And I think the Eagles are struggling to understand this counter now, and it's really showing imperative. So the question here now is, where's Stevenson going to take this fight? It looks like they're making a pass through right away. Going to be seeing this fight coming out towards point right now, in fact, as they're going to try to play it out mano a mano. But this really will come down to who gets more immediate damage on the initial. And that initial damage here going to be seen out against Stevenson here. Stevenson on the receiving end a bit more than they wanted to be as they start losing their players one by one. There's a lot going forward here, and you will be seeing that Mr. Serious actually does get out alive with the ult economy advantage, which is very important in these fights. Staying alive and making space is imperative. But so is hitting abilities here. Missing those viruses could prove fatal as RC is actually coming up on the ult themselves, and they're just little behind. It's coming in fast and aggressive here as Stevenson is choosing just to kite the ult. Play it smart, play it back, while also engaging with their own here. Having to play it safe just for a moment. Both sides ready with the EMP. It's all going to be about utilization here against the high ground. They're looking to shut down Mr. Serious, shut down that EMP. EMP goes in! And despite the EMP usage, you are going to be seeing that the ones that are suffering here are the Eagles right now, because they did not get their EMP off quick enough. They did not get their Blossom off quick enough. And those are imperative when you're trying to play for fighting to win on these points. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why Stevenson will take the first point. So now you're going to be working with here a good number of ults for both sides. 2 for the side of Eagles, 1 guaranteed, 1 on deck. While for Stevenson, 3 already in the hole to work with. Going in aggressively on the slam, dealing with Cage as well, and Death Blossom to burn the Cage. They are not afraid of this engagement here. Instead, I dare say it's going to be the Eagles that have to run and retreat. The Eagles are proud bird, but I am dare to say that they are struggling to find their prey today. So now going to be having to deal with just the rally here. Rally's going to have to hit everything and everyone, pushing in through their tankiness. As you're going to be seeing here, they're playing for the high ground, and the point is almost at its finish line declared. So you're going to be seeing a potential reverse on that rally there as the Brigitte loses barrier. But who's the one that's going down? Why, it's the Mustangs right now. Stevenson forced out the abilities of the ults while utilizing nothing themselves. A great strategy, to say the least. However, there is still the chance by taking the fight the way they did, that they're now in an ult limbo. We are going to come down to how they execute here. They're trying to build up ults as fast as possible. The ring is in, going in with a slam. Both abilities used to stay alive. Has one more opportunity on slam here. Needs to keep Root Beer alive. Root Beer trying desperately. And ult is ready here. They can push it in immediately. Going for the slams, but slams find no winner. However, what's this? With the orbital cannon, they actually win out the team fight thanks to the Death Blossom here. And they're trying to even it up now on point. The only difficulty here is that it's just DPS versus a DPS and healer. They're struggling to actually keep the momentum up. And that's where things can get very, very dangerous for either side here. They're trying to just outmaneuver one another. It's really going to come down to this EMP here. Just playing it back, playing it safe, not forcing this fight here. Very, very important right now. Stevenson just needs to play it back, play it safe, and they're looking just to stay alive. They lose Poppy May. That's going to be one down from them. Slam hits no targets. I believe Stevenson is playing for an all-out killing selection here. Melee is down. Melee down is going to be huge, imperative even. And here comes the EMP onto the breakdown, Reaper down, and looking for anyone else here. Here comes the Malga. Nothing to be had there as Sombra falls as well. They fight that last fight, and ladies and gentlemen, Stevenson wins the series! A come from behind. They get her done. 49 with the last and final play of the game. A beautiful cage coming on out there to be able to just entrap everyone. That's going to be it from us here tonight, folks. But don't go anywhere. We're going to vote for the MVP. So stay tuned with us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and you, the people, have voted. So welcome everyone to our one and only Mr. 49. How you doing, 40?
My fucking heart is it's thumping out of its chest, especially that last two fights there. I mean, obviously third place. You know, you can't be too upset about it. You know, like the meme about like the third place guy like cheering super hard more than like the other people. But like, I mean, this was. I mean, I just feel so proud. Everybody this season was. I mean, this was the most like team like that like best team that I've ever like been able to play with. Like beating like I mean, it's just, dude, I love everybody on this fucking team, man, and I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy that we were able to get a win to finish the season and get third place and finish the season strong after what looked like at the beginning or like the end of the spring semester like it was gonna be like one of the worst.
Now, I understand that. Now, I will say the chat probably wants to know here what the heck went on with some of that fight. I'll start with the obvious one. What happened with that ult and spawn?
Um, it's a tactical evasion or like tactical fat finger there. If you fat finger and spawn, it throws the other team off there, and especially
Uh-huh.
because they got that first point really fast. The other team wasn't really expecting a fat finger, and it's just threw a momentum off. And we were able to use that to just gain the momentum back for us and start holding them on that first point. For what was it, like 4.5 minutes? Like
Yeah.
that's you can't really ask for a better hold there on Blizzard World, especially after giving up a first one like that so fast.
No, definitely there. And for the next season forward, is there any plans for the team or anything that we should be looking forward to in the future?
Oh, I mean, we should just be looking forward to how the game is going to evolve from here. You know, the right now, obviously, this amalgam meta isn't like the most fun for everybody, but next in in a week or two, or just I guess next week, Hazard will be coming out as a new tank. It's gonna be fun getting to learn to master him. And how the game's just gonna keep evolving, how the meta evolves, and how we adapt to that. But I wouldn't do it with any other group of people on this team. This was like one of the best experiences that I've had here at my college career, and just in college in general. This is, if not the best experience that I've had yet. So I'm just happy to, get this win, and then next season, it's going to be even better. We're going to go for first and get another undefeated regular season, and just win it all. I think that's what the plan is.
Yes. And I do want to point this one out here for those in chat, those that have been around long enough to know. Not only has this team faced the worst season of their life, they've also faced probably the best season of their life and actually have broken a school record for the Overwatch team. This is the farthest the Overwatch team has actually ever gone in Stevenson history. So you guys are making records and going places. So congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, this is just the benchmark now. The level that we know we can play at. It got a bit sloppy in like the middle, but losing in like the semifinals, obviously that's gonna kill a team. But the way we rebounded these past 2 weeks, really just shows how strong we all are, how strong our mentals are, and how good of a team we are when we all play together and we win as a team. So I'm just excited to keep breaking school records next year. Hopefully get first and go into this into school playoffs. On a high note.
Sounds good. Well, that's going to end it us for here, folks.